The Nerd Academy podcast is released weekly at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, available on our website at www.thenerdacademypodcast.com and wherever you listen to podcasts. You can find the Nerd Academy podcast on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. You can also help support the show by going to patreon.com/The Nerd Academy podcast, where every donation allows us to bring you more exciting content every week.
Check. Okay, cool.
We're on.
I know we're on. It sounded we were coming through my headphones. I thought we were having an issue. Hello there, and welcome back to Knights of the Nerd Republic, the show where your favorite nerds discuss all things from the galaxy far, far away. I am your host, Jared the Dark Jedi Bachman Subs, and joining me is the one and only, the Gungan Sith Lord himself, Levi Baum.
Oh, yeah, boyos.
The boyos are oyoed, and believe it or not, have a little bit of news to cover right up top.
Ooh.
So, yeah, right? It's been so long since we've had actual news. Not a whole lot.
Yeah.
These are all admittedly kind of like this is a thing type stories that we'll be able to run through. The first one being that Star Wars Squadrons, the next Star Wars movie we'll be getting, has found its writer. I'm going to keep these on because I don't trust Voice Meter to not do some stupid stuff. So I'm going to keep these on my noggin for a moment. Yeah.
It's Patty Jenkins.
Patty Jenkins is the director. She's going to be directing Star Wars Squadrons.
That's not Patty Jenkins right there.
That is not Patty Jenkins. I forgot. I'm going to start putting what I'm looking at in the show. Now that I can freely do that a lot easier. Here's a StreamYard. God love it. Okay, cool. There we go. So, yeah, we got Matthew Robinson.
That's Matthew Robinson in the picture.
Yes. Of the invention of lying is going to be allegedly penning the script for Rogue Squadron. This is an exclusive from Hollywood Reporter.
Interesting.
Writer of Boris Kitt. The byline there. So obviously Hollywood Reporter is definitely on the trustworthier side of things. I've always said before that trades like Hollywood Reporter, Deadline, Variety, Vanity Fair, Empire, that pantheon of entertainment trades, those are the ones I'm inclined to believe whenever a story like this breaks. And yeah, so it looks like we have our writer for Rogue Squadron, a very limited, amount of work here to base things off of, but Star Wars is at its best when it is utilizing unknown talent. So I have no qualms with this choice. Obviously, Patty Jenkins, like we said, of Wonder Woman and Wonder Woman 1984 fame. So we got some star power in the director's chair. First woman to direct a Star Wars movie, which is, obviously big news, big element there. And yeah, so fun little development. I'm excited watching Rogue Squadron come together. Like, this is a movie that's really hard to have like expectations for, Yeah. Like it's just going to be. This is a very reductive way of putting it, but it's kind of just going to be Top Gun in space. And you could just kind of just like let that be the guiding light. There's no expectation about Luke or Han and Leia or whatever other legacy characters. It's just you get to do your own thing. I think that's good. I'm excited. Obviously the Force stuff is what gets me going. So a movie about fighter pilots isn't going to have me like rah 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 necessarily, but it's Star Wars. I'm excited for it. I'm excited for a Star Wars that doesn't have a whole lot of baggage going in. So.
Yeah, it's okay. I'm not gonna freak out over it,
which is fair.
It's the same with Rogue One too.
Yeah,
Rogue One also, not Rogue One and 2. Yeah, I just
a little known sequel to Rogue One.
Right. So we'll see.
Yeah. I think this has here's my thing with like movies like Rogue One or even Solo. that I went into those kind of not caring. Like, it was like, this is Star Wars. So there's a baseline level of insane excitement for me because
Right.
it's Star Wars.
Right.
But as opposed to like the sequel trilogy movies coming out, I'm not like, oh my God, give it to me right now. But I walked out of Rogue One like, ooh, that was a lot of fun. I like these guys. And I walked out of Solo very much in the camp of like, make Solo 2 happen. Like, I want to see more of this. I want to see more of, again, obvious bias. I want to see more of childish Landino, but I do want to see more of this young Han and, all of that stuff. So that's what I'm kind of expecting to walk away with Rogue Squadron with.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. Other little report here, looks as though the Acolyte, the one of the next Disney Plus shows to be coming down the pipeline, will take place in the tail end of the High Republic era, is set to begin filming in early 2022. Also, speaking of High Republic stuff, keep your eyes on the channel. Probably won't be next week. Probably, I will guesstimate by the end of July, early August is when we'll be doing another High Republic roundup episode, because I believe in the next couple of weeks we are getting the next batch of High Republic novels. But Leslie Headland's The Acolyte is going to begin filming in London in February, early 2022, allegedly. Speaking of Leslie Headland and Star Wars The Acolyte, the other little bit of news, just kind of a discussion thing more than anything, is that there is clickbait's a thing, and the big story floating around the internet this week was Leslie Headland's Star Wars The Acolyte writer has never seen Star Wars.
That sounds wrong.
You're correct. That she was discussing her entire writer's room, which is like multiple people who are all working on scripts, all working on The Acolyte, and how she wanted to make sure everybody in the room had a different Star Wars origin story. And one of those individuals is new to the franchise, is what really happened there. I'm sure that when they hired them, they may not have seen any Star Wars, but it's kind of hard to write the thing that you haven't, you don't know anything about. I've seen a lot of people like weighing in on it, saying that, it's going to be bad because such and such has never seen this, that, or the other thing. But, she brought up a good point where she was like, I want a writer who's kind of numb to this stuff, who will be able to bring something to the table that isn't kind of like entrenched in like fan service and in the way that everybody, and, she said it, our buddy Darth Chaco said it on TikTok, that if you or I or anybody listening or watching or whatever were handed the keys to write or direct or have anything to do with the production of a Star Wars, that a part of our own biases as fans would not leak into that story. That we would not as individuals find some amount of fan service to pay off.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter what era, what characters you're supposed to be basing it around. You give this kid the keys to the castle, Dash Rendar is showing up. It could be in the High Republic.
Absolutely.
It could be like 5 minutes after the Battle of Exegol. In the timeline, he's going to find a way for Dash Rendar to show up and be very important to the story.
Yeah. That's not a bad thing either.
No, that's not a bad thing. That's just, no, not at all. And that's what I'm saying, is that like all of us have our own things that like we would do everything in our power to sneak in there.
Yeah.
So I think it's not
for people who know him, it'll be cool.
Yeah.
For people who don't know him, it might as well just be a new character anyway.
Yeah.
Right.
So, and that's my thing. Like, I don't think it's a bad idea to have somebody on hand who won't be prone to trying to their own like Star Wars biases to get in the way of telling like the story as it should be, especially when you're playing around this far back in the timeline. Like, somebody trying to sneak a little bit of fan service in somewhere could inevitably create some canon issues down the road. So So yeah, this is a non-story that should not need to be discussed, except for the fact that grifters took a headline and ran with it. But yeah, light on Star Wars news. And unfortunately so, because I really thought last week we were going to have something because of E3. I really thought we were going to get something. I believe EA Play is coming up soon, and there's some speculation that we might get a little bit of some Star Warsiness. There are the rumors that the cast of the Battlefront 2 campaign were all in the same place, all wearing mocap stuff. And again, it was like all of the same people from Battlefront 2.
Interesting.
So, with that rumor floating around, not rumor, like they all basically independently was like something in LA. Here's a picture of them in mocap. Here's somebody in the background of somebody else's picture.
Yeah.
All of them at EA Dice. It's like, okay, clearly something's happening here with the whole Inferno Squad gaggle of people. So hopefully EA Play has something to say on that, and we're also still very desperately waiting on updates for Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga. So yeah, it's been pretty scant as far as Star Wars news goes around these parts. I'm very glad the Bad Batch is going on, because it would have been a lot of topic episodes the past few months, and I don't know.
I'm excited about the Acolyte.
Me too.
Yeah.
Seriously, like the thing that excites me the most. There's two things. One, I have a slight inkling and theory on it that I think this is going to be the dark side story everybody's been waiting for. And now everybody's been like, "Oh, I want a Sith movie. I want a Sith show."
Yeah.
Da, 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 da.
I want that.
And I do too. And I want it in the right hands. Like, those are one of those stories that I would be very like I can't tell you off the top of my head whom I would want to be at the helm. Leslie Headland's body of work bodes well for something like The Acolyte. I remember a couple weeks ago, whenever we all found out that apparently Zack Snyder pitched a Star Wars movie to Lucasfilm, where I was like, top of the list of people I don't want to touch a Sith story is Zack Snyder. Yeah? His sensibilities as a storyteller, it would look cool, it would look beautiful, and it would be shot well, and the fight choreography would be amazing, but the central themes and ideas of the movie, I feel, or TV show or whatever, I feel would end up turning into, actually, the Sith are right. And I would just be like, I don't think you understand the central core element of these stories, but whatever. But because of Acolyte, just sound it's the creepy way of saying student or apprentice.
Yeah.
Which bodes well for what would be the Rule of Two era. I have my theory with the High Republic that this big interconnected story about the Jedi going, warring with the Nile, is going to in some way trace back to the Sith. That I don't necessarily think that the Nile are an outgrowth of the Sith or anything like that. I think that the Sith are exploiting them or funding them or just giving them that little indirect push, just like in Legends, where the Sith were very there was never a calamity or issue in Legends during the Rule of Two era that the Sith didn't either engineer or exploit after the fact. And that's what I'm hoping is happening with the High Republic. And I would love to get to see the Rule of Two era Sith this far back. Mm-hmm. So that excites me very much. That's what I'm hoping for with the Acolyte. So yeah, it's probably one of my most anticipated things. And the other reason I'm so excited for it is getting to after reading these 3 High Republic novels we have so far, gonna get into the comics soon. Because here's a little hint and nugget out there. We're using a High Republic character in this season of the Versus series on the Patreon. I'm not going to say whom, but we are using a High Republic Jedi. I can't wait to see that aesthetic brought to the screen, the white and gold robes. Everybody's lightsaber looks cool. the way the ships are described, it's very like. The thing with Star Wars that I love is that it all feels like it's in the future, but also way in the past. It's that space fairy tale type vibe, where the way the technology is described and what we've seen in the comics, like it feels like crank up the like fairy tale in space element a little bit, where it feels a little bit more old school with the tech, obviously, because it's like 400, 500 years.
Mm-hmm.
Everything about putting the High Republic in live action has me giddy. So I'm right there with you on Acolyte hype.
Yeah, I really want to see more of the dark side. I want it expanded upon. I've said several times I want them to start doing old Republic stuff.
Yeah.
That's a gold mine waiting to happen whenever they are able to do it.
I really do think that the High Republic is a primer. I think that
Good.
I really do think that going that far back, I think there's a reason, because people keep talking about Old Republic, that the reason they differentiated by saying the High Republic as its own era, the fact that it's in a window that Legends never covered, or not as extensively as like, because you get like the hundreds of thousands of years before the movies happen. About a couple decades worth are covered really well leading up to the movies, everything happening in between, and then everything after. There's that block exactly where the High Republic exists that is so untapped that I think they want to fill that era out. And then I think that they're going to go hog wild with film, with television, with the Old Republic. Whether or not they adapt stuff, I don't know. I don't know what the right way to go is. I think everybody and their mother would like to see a Revan or a Malak or a Malgus or a Treya, Nihilus, Scion. Like, I think everybody would like to see all that stuff adapted in some way. I think it would be really hard to pull off, especially because like all the secrets are out there, and I think at that point Disney or Lucasfilm rather is in a interesting situation where I think that would be the first time they're trying to adapt their own source material into a thing. And look, like even the MCU has avoided, for the most part, stories where the comic book readers already know the twist.
Right.
I think that's
they keep the characters, they keep the general plot.
Yeah, they take ideas and they take story titles because they sound cool. Stuff
they can
like
do that with the Old Republic easily.
Yeah, that's what I'd be curious to see. I think that's the reason why we never like using comic book movies as an example. I think that's the reason we haven't seen Red Hood on screen yet in a movie. Is that you can go into it like but like the trailer analyzation industrial complex. Like by the time like within 3 minutes of the trailer being out, how much of your audience already knows that Red Hood is Jason Todd and is like former Robert and presumed dead?
Yeah.
Like I remember when Captain America and the Winter Soldier were coming out, that like I was like, y'all aren't ready for who the Winter Soldier is. And, some of our friends were like, oh, who do you think it is? It was like, I know who it is. Like, I read this story. And again, like, it's not like the Winter Soldier is based off of any specific Captain America story. It's just that familiarity with the lore.
Right.
And I think that to do the Old Republic stuff, you know what? I think the best route would go would just to kind of do it in chronological order, not even try to adapt the game. Just
that can
remove the Revan mystery entirely. I think is the most efficient way to do it. Now that I'm thinking about it, but we could do a whole episode on how we would want to see the High Republic or the Old Republic rather.
Yeah,
brought to the big screen. That could go on for hours on that.
I know that my favorite character is not going to get the attention he deserves from that era, which, I'm prepared for. But
which one's that?
Darth Mar.
Yeah, that's right, Mar.
Yeah, he's more focused on in Star Wars: The Old Republic, not Knights of the Old Republic.
Yeah. I think a lot of people don't appreciate or realize the time gap between Knights of the Old Republic and
just the Old Republic. Yeah.
I think a lot of people
because there's a whole
Revan shows up in SWOTOR. So
right.
Clearly this is all in the no.
He has a bunch of cultists, like crazy cultists, praising him or worshiping him or trying to bring him back even in the Old Republic. Which is kind of like, your Star Wars World of Warcraft game.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun. It's good fun. You know about it, right?
Oh yeah, those are the kinds of games I've never been able to get into. That's why, I keep the rumor, floating around there that there is going to be a KOTOR remake coming out soon that is going to remove turn-based combat. I'm really excited for that, just because, I don't know, those kinds of games, they just get a little too big for me and too big for my brain to comprehend.
Pokemon is the only turn-based combat I really enjoy.
And I was proud of myself that I was able to get into Pokemon this year. Travis and Alexis got me Pokemon Sword. They got me Pokemon Sword for my birthday. I'm really close to beating it. I was actually considering saving my final round of battles and stuff for camp. So that
Did you find your DS?
No, I've been looking for it. I can't find it.
Oh, we are going to the Warp Zone then. I'm just going to get you a DS.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Warp Zone?
Yeah, it's a shop in Greensburg.
Oh,
in the residential area in South Greensburg. Yeah.
No way. You talked about that. I'm remembering this conversation.
Okay.
I would very much like to check that out. I would like to get a DS back. Oh no, where was I going? Oh yeah.
Turn-based combat.
Yeah, that kind of stuff just breaks my brain. Like I said, I was proud of myself for being able to get through 80% of Pokemon Sword since my birthday.
Pokemon's less complicated.
Oh, absolutely. I
know.
My cousin Pierce, who listens. I got him turned on to the Legends canon.
Yeah.
And pointed him in the direction of there's too much here for me to try to explain all of this to you in one go. But here's where you can start looking into things. And then he got really into the Old Republic and started playing it. And I was like, well, I own the console version of KOTOR, because every so often he'll come up to PA and we'll hang out for a whole week. Mm-hmm. He was like, yeah. He's like, let's play KOTOR together. And I was like, I'm going to stop you right there, son. You're going to play KOTOR and I'm going to cheer you on. Because I'm there's a reason why I touched this and have tried to come back to it every couple years and then start crying on Terrace. But yeah, if I could get KOTOR that plays like a Jedi Outcast, I would be happy. I was like, if I can experience the story and can just kind of run around with blaster and lightsaber in hand,
yeah, that'd be nice.
I'm sold. I'm completely sold. Just because I just can't grasp it. My brain doesn't wrap around it. I feel stupid while other people are like, oh, God, I love KOTOR, and I'm like, I know the story. I can run you through the story beats right now because KOTOR is amazing. I know the story. Can't play the game. Can't do it. I am praying for that KOTOR remake.
I'm in your camp with this. I think turn-based
10 things. Is that 10 things?
22
things we agree on? Excellent.
I do not like turn-based games except for Pokemon. And that includes Final Fantasy. So.
Yeah, I think the only turn
that's a big sin.
Everybody's entitled to their opinions. I think it's the very limited knowledge I have of Final Fantasy, I have gathered that it is again one of those franchises where I'm like, I bet I'd be really into that if I was capable of playing that game.
Yeah.
That's how I am with Resident Evil. I've come to realize I'd probably be super into Resident Evil if I was into horror games.
Not me.
And not I don't know. I'm stupid. I'm stupid when it comes to video games. I need games that are very will explain to me what I'm supposed to do. and I excel. I excel at those kinds of games. Now, granted, like there are some that, like there's like a perfect, like in between spot where it's like that stereotypical thing where it's the parent like guiding the kid while they're on the bike, and then they let their hands go, and the kid doesn't realize it, and then they're like, "Oh wow, I'm riding my bike."
Yeah.
There's certain games that do the perfect level of like, and now you're on your own.
Oh, you should play Dishonored then.
The moment we started talking about video games, I knew it was coming.
And Darksiders. Darksiders is good fun.
You know, I replaying a little bit of recently. Like I don't know, because I'm about to get back into Assassin's Creed Valhalla. So for the DLC, because Travis and I have a suicide pact.
I see.
I'm like, I don't want to make it sound like I dislike playing Assassin's Creed Valhalla because it's fun and it's really good. It's good. But it's one of those like at the end of last year where Travis and I had 2 really big gaming related projects come up where we had Miles Morales and Valhalla like right next to each other. And we took a break halfway through Valhalla to knock out Miles. And I cannot tell you, just in terms of like the style of gameplay and the like compactness of Miles Morales next to Valhalla, where like I'm remembering why I don't get into like huge games super often, and why my Assassin's Creed phase was in high school.
Yeah.
Was that like my brain is not wired anymore to be able to like, all right, I'm sitting down for a 5-hour session where I'm going to complete this entire side quest thread.
Mm-hmm.
Right? We're like, I can't do that. Spider-Man, that's easy for me because it's a little bit more condensed. It's still really big, but there's a lot to do. It's also the travel. The travel's a big difference. Now, obviously, with the Spider-Man game, you get the very hyper-specific method of travel of web slinging.
Yes.
And the Insomniac games, it's the best web swinging in any Spidey game. But like, I'm like mentally preparing myself for Valhalla again. Where like, and I know I'm gonna suck because I'm gonna forget every single control, and I'm gonna have to relearn it because I know the combat threw me off. Replaying
Assassin's Creed controls suck.
Especially
I'm in that camp.
Well, after they changed it, yeah. Like after their post Unity, like, all right, everything's different. Unity, this is not the right show to have this conversation, but I've said it on TNAP and I'm going to say it on KNR. Unity is an unappreciated high point for the franchise.
I have no bone in this.
And yes, it was buggy as all get out when it first came out. And next to unplayable, but by the time I got to it, when everything was fixed and patched, it was quite fun. It was quite good. Had the best combat, had the best customization, and it had the Phantom Blade, where it was like basically like a wrist-bound crossbow using your hidden blade, and that's just kind of like nonsense gadget stuff that I love.
Yeah.
That like you feel like Batman in the French Revolution with gadgets like that, and I love it. So, hot take: Unity was the high point. It all fell off after Unity.
Well, it really sounds like you would like Dishonored because it can be finished in like 8-10 hours.
Oh, really?
But there's still a lot to do, like in each level. How many levels are there? 8, 10? I forget. But you have the one main objective in each level. And it's not like you're traveling to different parts of an overworld map, right? You get dropped in a section of the city. You're in that section of the city for the whole level. But there are different side quests to do. You can collect stuff like bone charms, which will give you extra powers because you're graced by the outsider who's like a sort of god or demon. Like you can dash, you can see through walls, you can turn into a swarm of rats. You can do that. You can make a whirlwind and push people off bridges to their death. Or you can go try hard and just use the dash and your vision and get an achievement. which is what I do because I like the stealth mode.
Oh, that's interesting. See, that's another thing.
And then you can play stealthy, which is the main intended way to do it, or you can kill everyone. And the ending changes based on that.
Oh, really? I like that.
There are 3 endings. There are 3 endings in Dishonored. The stealthy
we might make
one.
it happen. Yeah, we have a week. We have a week and you and I are nocturnal.
That's true.
So
that is true.
There's a good chance that we spend most of the evenings at camp. We're gonna knock out Pokemon Sword. We're gonna finally play Dishonored.
Yes.
Lexi's gonna be getting her Legends video game boot camp of like OG Battlefront 2 and the Force Unleashed.
You have Battlefront 2 for 360?
Yes.
Okay. Because I only have it for PS2.
I also have it like downloaded on my Xbox.
Oh. Okay. Yeah. Whatever.
That's a nice thing about camp is that like if we ever realize there's a game we don't have, like it's not too terribly far away to make a quick pit stop if we had to.
Yeah, exactly.
And then I'm gonna get to do my victory lap when we start playing fighting games, because now I'm finally good at Smash and I'm coming for revenge. Because about this time last year, we were all sitting on Levi's porch. His porch is like a little like patio pool house, all playing Super Smash Brothers. The one fighting game that I really like that I was terrible at. Because I didn't own a Switch, I didn't really get to play Smash Brothers outside of like playing with friends, and I always get clapped very easily.
I was never good at Smash.
I made you look pro.
Yeah, and when we play again, I'm just going to play Isabelle and Fish.
Valid.
Anyway, Darth Maul, my favorite Star Wars Old Republic character. He's not going to get the screen time he deserves whenever they do adapt the Old Republic. He's the pragmatic Sith on the council. He really held the council together pretty much. Even made a peace treaty with the Jedi to take care of a third party. Yeah, which is cool.
The whole concept of the war between the Jedi and Sith going cold just on its own is fascinating.
And there's something like romantic about Mar because he fought for the lost cause of a united Sith nation. He was trying so desperately to keep the other selfish idiots in line so that the Sith Empire could survive.
He and Bane would have gotten along.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think with that, it's time for some Bad Batch talk.
Great episode.
That makes me so happy you liked it.
And also, I never mentioned this before. Someone else might have. Fennec Shand looks like the shape-shifted form of Zam Wesell, right? Especially with that mask, right?
I never got that vibe.
Oh, I might be remembering wrong. Okay.
I mean, I'm so stuck on the fact that it is Ming-Na Wen that I'm just like, it looks just like a young Ming-Na Wen in Clone Wars style.
Let's see the image of Zam. No, not my Terraria tab. Make a new tab. I made a gigantic mushroom biome in space in Terraria, which I don't think you're supposed to do, but Zam Wesell.
I will say the bare knuckle brawl.
Oh, okay, no, she had a cloth mask. But
I don't quite. I see what you're saying. Those are one of those like I wouldn't be able to say that I saw it without you prompting me on it. But like I see what you mean, kind of.
Yeah, I was just wondering if they would throw it in there that Zam was trying to look like Fennec.
That'd be interesting if they tried to do something like that. But I think
Fennec, they're painting her as like a newbie to the scene, so I don't think that would work.
But yeah, so thoughts on the episode? Clearly you liked it.
Yeah, I liked it. Yeah, I liked it a lot. So Omega is now more independent, right? She can do stuff. on her own, which she was able to for like the past couple episodes, but it's showcased here.
She did not have the safety net of the rest of 99.
Exactly. She was on her own. She is lucky that Bane wanted more money and kept her alive. So she's lucky there.
Hey, Cad Bane always goes for those bonus objectives, and sometimes
Yes,
it
he
bites
does. And he played fair too. It was Fennec who played dirty.
you. I don't know. I feel like when it's a fist fight and you bust out the flamethrower.
No, I mean like killing his contract and taking the money.
See, I think that
Contact.
had more to do with the fact that was Fennec's job.
Yeah.
And I
Poor Cad Bane though.
oh my
he
God.
lost so much money.
I watching the credits fall out of the suitcase and Toto just go like, oh boy, oh no.
My credits. But
another day, another dollar.
I like the difference in fighting style between Cad Bane and Fennec. Fennec is more refined,
Yeah,
right? She's been taught somewhere, you know. And then Bane, it's kind of more like
he's just
like,
somebody
he's
who's been in
kinda
a
like
lot of
up-
fist fights.
yeah, he's uptown street fighter, right?
yeah.
Like he has a little bit of class. He knows what he's doing because he has so much experience, but it doesn't look like he has a form,
No,
right? He just knows what's gonna happen, and then he reacts to that with that wicked headbutt. Oh my god!
because he has that weird metal plate
I
in his
know.
head that like some people are
Yeah.
saying like, oh, I guess the Boba Fett duel already happened because he has a plate in his head, and I'm like,
Oh, if it happened off screen, I'm gonna riot.
I don't think it happened off screen because I don't think Cad Bane got shot in the head.
He'd have been shot in the face, right?
I just thought that he and Boba shot at the same time, and he aimed for Boba's head
Mm.
because you get the helmet dent.
Oh, you don't get shot in the back of the head in a gunfight.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Is it like because it's like right here? It looks like he just either sustained a head injury, or because Cad Bane's a little bit of a Looney Tune. And also, I can't tell if he's wearing like a balaclava or not, because it looks like the back of his head's black, where like the tubes are in there, and I can't tell how much of that is like actually a part of his body or not.
Oh, okay.
So part of me is inclined to say that like he might just have a plate there for the sole purpose of rocking somebody when he
I don't
headbutts
know.
them.
I don't know. It was really, really good fight scenes. Not perfect though, because like there were a couple moments when either one could have just pulled out a gun and shot them when they were on the ground.
Yeah, I think the only reason you can definitely say that Fennec wouldn't do it is that I don't think she wants to take her chances with a quick draw against Cad Bane.
You're not taking your chances when the dude is just dead.
That's fair. I mean, I'm always the type of person to go like, there's probably some type of internal logic there of like, you know, who knows who comes after her if she kills Cad Bane.
Maybe.
Maybe maybe you get to be the top dog now because you're the one who put a blaster bolt between Cad Bane's eyes. But also like there might be an outfit of people who are going to come after you now.
It could be. I don't know.
Or the concern's just Omega, and it's like I don't care
Like
about
Cad
killing
could have
you.
done it too.
Yeah,
So what's his excuse?
I don't know.
He shot a dude for a hat. You're telling me he would not kill Fennec Shand, the person who just screwed him over?
Isn't it crazy? This is like we have a canon death for Tan Wee. Like,
Yeah. But we don't have Dash Rendar. That is pretty crazy.
I don't know. On the list of like things that we were gonna get out of the Bad Batch, seeing Tan Wee get double tapped, you don't even see it. You just find her body slouched over. I was not expecting that.
Yeah.
There's
pretty-
just something silly and funny about, oh, we have a canon death for this character.
It's cool to see a Kaminoan act on their emotions.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
That's my biggest thing for this episode is the Kaminoan double cross.
Yep.
where it's like I'm in that like this is that point in the story, and this has happened for every Disney Plus show, for Mandalorian, WandaVision, Loki, not Loki quite yet, but like Falcon and the Winter Soldier, everything, where I hit that. Okay, I don't care about my fan theory anymore because this is a really interesting idea. Keep talking, and I don't care if this proves me wrong entirely. The idea that there is a double cross where Lama Su is like, I just want that sweet, fresh Jango Fett DNA and nothing else.
Yeah.
You whack the
Yeah.
kid when you're done. And you have the other Kaminoan who's like, yeah, but I like her. I think she's neat. You know? It's like she's going so far to keep Omega alive. And I'm going to be honest with you, if she has her own ulterior motives, like if her end game is not to protect Omega because she cares about her, I'm going to be a little disappointed. Like, and again, they could come back around and it's like, oh no, I wanted you for X reason. I don't care about the Jango Fett thing. There's more on the line than just you and Boba are the only two people with like actual Jango Fett DNA right now. I like if they go in a different direction, that's fine. I'm sure they'll make it work. I just really love the idea that she's like completely doing this in earnest and throwing this kind of money at Fennec Shand. You know, like she's a brand new iPhone of bounty hunters right now. I love it. This episode absolutely blew me away. I saw this hilarious meme, where it was like there was like Star Wars fans watching Bad Batch during the name drop. It was like a clone named Alpha. They had to change his name to Boba, and then it was the clip from Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Rick Dalton's like,
that's it. That's it.
That's it. Which I forgot. That is a meme that is funnier in video than it is in picture. Because like the Leo going like this meme is funny. The fact that he goes like he starts like aggressively whistling at the TV is even funnier, and we miss it. But
yeah, so they did name drop Boba Fett.
Yeah,
is he gonna show up?
I feel like we're getting there.
I think he's got to show up, right? We have Bane. We have pure Jango DNA in the works. I think he has to show up.
I also like the idea that
I also just want my
I want it
spaghetti
to
Western standoff scene.
We're both going to be happy campers if Bane catches a bolt from Boba. I think it's also another interesting thing that because we get the Clone Wars episodes where they're talking about like we're kind of running out of Jango Fett DNA around here. Like,
yeah,
I like the
does your clone rebellion even happen?
I think they have enough clone station on Kamino that you could have like the excuse that they just kind of like flip the switch, and it was like, okay, we hate the Empire now, go fight them. I think the Clone Rebellion can still happen. I think it's interesting that it is not the act of cloning Jango that is making them run low. It's the fact that there is no pure DNA created by the clones. And that they do so much, and that they just pump so much stuff into these clones to like accelerate the growth process, make them more obedient, inhibitor chips, all that stuff. That like that's what makes them no good. And that if like say that the Clone War goes on for a longer amount of time, maybe they go, okay, we just need to create straight up Jango Fett clones and raise them from birth. That's the only way for us to recover the DNA.
Yep.
Like, in theory, if you have the pure source, you can do it infinitely. It's kind of the vibe I'm getting, is that they want Omega back so that they can get the Jango DNA back. That they need more Jango. I just thought was really neat as a concept with the clones. I think you can absolutely still do the Clone Rebellion. Because like now that's like what does he need Omega's Jango DNA for?
Lama Su?
Yeah.
to create clones.
But if their whole operation gets shut down by the Empire, like that's my question. Is I feel like it has to be the Revolution. Now, granted, like we don't know how quickly you can like get a clone, you know, popped out the genetic oven and, you know, put a blaster in its hand. I don't know how quickly that can happen. You know, obviously they have like the whole cadet training and stuff. So
Yeah.
I don't know what their turnaround time would be, but I don't know. It feels like Lamasu is playing a long game with wanting Omega and wanting the Jango Fett DNA.
Or that was the plan originally.
Yeah. I don't know. We are getting the right questions to answer ratio right now. And for only being one episode past halfway, I'm very excited for this. I'm very, very excited with what's going to happen moving forward. I also, like, I got so invested in this episode, in the, like, drama of, like, Cad Bane fighting Fennec Shand and Omega trying to get away from the both of them, that, like, I forgot that the Bad Batch was actually able to, like, head for her. So that when her little pod stopped midair, I was like, oh, God, who's it going to be? Because I'm like, okay, is it Cad? Is it Fennec? Is it Boba? Is it Bosk?
I was thinking it was Boba.
Is it Wilro Hood? Like, who's going to be walking out of the door
But
thing?
then Rick popped his head up and he's like,
Omega! I was like, oh, hell yeah, cool. All right, good. We're safe. But yeah, no, I was very interested in the episode. And this is getting better. I also like the brief glimpse we get of Crosshair, and it looks like they are actually going to be like, yeah, he just looks like that now. We're not going to clean him up in the next episode and a half.
He looks like
later.
Dengar now.
He kind of does. I think he'll look less like Dengar when he gets the bandages taken off.
Oh, yeah.
And his face will just be a little mangled on the one side. But yeah, it was a very good episode this week. I really enjoyed it. Really liked it. Really enjoying where things are going.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a phenomenal episode. They're getting better and better. Anything else, my friend?
No.
Alrighty.
Nope.
Well, with that, Levi, where can the lovely people find you, good sir?
Twitter. Jared.
Yes.
At what places can our beautiful viewers locate you on the digital media?
I am too preoccupied mentally to try to find a way to paraphrase myself again this week. You guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram listening a lot to the new Tyler, the Creator album. Highly recommend. Call me if you get lost.
Okay.
It's really funky and fun.
Yeah, you're recommending it to me.
Yes.
Okay.
I think you should give it a try. And if you like Call Me If You Get Lost, his newer one, I would also recommend Igor and Flower Boy.
Okay.
Big Tyler, the Creator fan, really loving this new album. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at DarkJedi2552. You can find the Nerd Academy podcast on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and on our website, www.thenerdacademypodcast.com, where if you're feeling generous, you can donate to our Patreon page. Speaking of our patrons, thank you to our $10 alumnus, Case and Brian, The Waffle Wizard, Delta 9, and Zach Knaus. You guys help us make the content we love to produce. We love you very much. Also, consider the $5 tier, where you get access to the Knights of the Nerd Republic Versus series, Yoda versus Darth Treya, coming in July, probably after camp, a little later in July, but Treya v. Yoda.
That means August. Do you say later than July or later in July?
Later in July.
Oh, that means July.
Yeah.
There you go.
Probably tail end of July. Eventually, we're going to get back to like first of the month is Versus series.
Do Yodas have tails?
No.
No?
I don't think so.
But we've never seen a backside of a Yoda.
Yeah, we have.
Where?
I mean, are you saying the backside is in the butt?
Yeah,
Or like backside is in like their back?
their butts.
We've never seen a bare-butted Yoda, but I feel like whenever we see him without his robe on in Revenge of the Sith, we would have seen a tail either poking out or something like that.
Okay. Feel like they should have tails.
I feel like if Yoda has a tail, he has like a. At that point, the appendage difference between him and Trey is just too great and unfair. Although now that I say that out loud, I kind of want to do Trey versus Grievous now. We won't be changing it. I'm just saying that might be season 3. Anyway. But yeah, KNR versus series, Yoda versus Trey in July. Tune in for that one. We got Batman 3 Jokers coming down the pipeline on Heroic History 101 soon. And we got the audio commentaries for TNAT Movie Club all up there if you want to watch some movies with myself and Devin and sometimes more. Indiana Jones month will be kicked into high gear rather soon, so stay tuned for that. Be sure to take a look at the student store link on our website to look at our TeePublic. I believe they're doing their end of Pride Month sale, so go get merch at a reduced rate. And like, comment, share, subscribe, do all the things. I always feel like I'm missing something after I do the TeePublic plug. Thank you all so very much for listening. We're honored that you have joined us, and may the Force be with you.
Always.
Stop! Move away from the cookie jar!